In this video, we will look at inheritance in Python. When we talk about inheritance, it's a core feature of object-oriented programming or OOP that allows a class to inherit attributes and methods from another class. This promotes code reusability as a common functionality that can be defined in a base class and inherited by multiple derived classes. So now let's use a simple bank account to implement inheritance in Python. So first of all, we'll create a class using what? The class keyword. So bank account. And when you watch my previous video, we went through how to create what? A class in Python. Then I'll define an init method here, and then this one will take the account holder and then the balance, and I'll give a default value of 0. Then I'll initialize these variables, account holder like this, set to account holder, then self.balance, which should be equal to balance. Now what I'll do is I'll define some methods. So for instance, the deposit, which will take self as a parameter, and then the amount. And over here we'll say self.balance. We'll add the amount we are depositing. Then we'll just say print deposited amount. Oh no, I'm not doing this properly. Put amount like this. New balance is self.balance. So just like what we did in the previous video in classes, when we were talking about classes. Then the withdraw, self.amount. So I could just copy that over, but I want to go through this again with you. So if amount, let's say amount is greater than self.balance, you just print insufficient funds, else self.balance, then we'll subtract the amount that we want to. Then I'll just say print withdrew amount, new balance is self.balance, like this, and save. Another method, which will be get balance, this will just return self.balance and save. So this is how we define classes. Now let's go ahead and look at what inheritance. So we can define another class that will what? Inherit all these methods and even properties from what? This class. So that class will be what? A child class or a subclass, and this class is what? A parent class. So let's look at that. So I'll just go ahead and define another class called savings account, like this. Now over here in this parenthesis, we pass in what? The name of the bank account class. So we'll pass our bank account class here. So we are saying that this savings account class should inherit from what? This bank account class. Now I can go ahead and then define the methods and then properties. So for instance, let's say this savings account, like this, we'll put our init method there. It will also take self, and then it will also take account holder like this. Then balance, we'll initialize it to 0, and then maybe balance like this. That one will also be equal to what? 100 like this. So now I can go ahead and say self dot account holder, and I'll assign it to account holder like this, and then maybe self dot balance and all those stuff. And you see that now um this is becoming redundant, because since this class is inheriting from the bank account class, we can go ahead and just call the init method of the parent class. So this bank account class here is a parent class, and then this savings account class here is what? A child class, because it is inheriting from what? The bank account class. So this is how we do what? Inheritance in Python. And we can do multiple inheritance by just passing command and then passing in any number of what? Classes that we want to what? Inherit from. We want this child class to inherit from. So in order to prevent initializing this, so assuming we have more variables here we want to initialize, you see that now it will become too redundant and we cannot what? Type them all. Even though this one is two, we can type it, by assuming maybe we have 4, 5, 6, or even 10, we cannot type them all. So in Python we have a keyword called what? Super. So we will write the super method like this, and then with the dot operator we can access what? The init method of the parent class. Okay, and this method we don't have to pass in self, so I can just go ahead and pass in the account holder, and then what? The balance, and then finally I'll have to what? Initialize this what? Variable here, which is what? Self dot what? Main balance, and I'll assign it to what? Main balance like this. So this is how we practice what? Inheritance in Python. And it is not only calling the init method. Any other method here, we can go ahead and what? Call it. So let's say we want to implement a withdrawal method. So now let me just go ahead and then create an instance of what? This savings account. So let's say let me just put a saving account, and then I'll assign it to savings account like this. Now I have to pass in the holder, let's say team here, and then the balance. Okay, I'll just leave the balance and then the rest of the parameters, because they have a default value. So now I've created an instance of this. Now with my dot operator, when I write savings account and then dot, you can see that I have access to the deposit, the get balance, and then even the withdraw methods. But so as you can see, since even though we didn't what initialize it on, we didn't create these methods in this class, savings account class, since it is inheriting from this class, we have those methods what available. So when I go ahead and call the deposit method like this, and then passing an amount that I want to deposit like this, when I go to and run my file, which will be using the Python command like this, you see that we get what? Deposited the amount. Your new balance is what? 2000. So that is inheritance for you. So one thing is that I can go ahead and then define a deposit method here. So when I come here and define a deposit method like this, let me make sure I write that properly. Deposit method like this, which will take self. Yeah, I'll just say print. I'll just put a print here, a print statement. I'll just say print. Let me say depositing from the savings class. And then let's say we want to pass in an amount. Let's say the amount we want to deposit, even though we are not making use of it. So when I go ahead and then run my file again, you see that we are now getting what? Depositing from the savings class. So we can just overwrite what? These methods over here. So in case we want to implement a method, maybe a deposit method or any other method, which is maybe with the same name but different, its functionality or its logic is different from what we have implemented in the parent class, we can just write the name of that function and then it will overwrite what? That method in the parent class. So that is it. Let's say over here I can go ahead and then in the savings class, I can say def withdraw withdraw. Let me just write withdraw like this. I don't want it to auto-complete it for me. So self, then the amount. And over here, what I'll do is with the super keyword like this, I can call what? The withdraw method from what? The parent class is missing an argument, so I have to pass in the amount that we want to withdraw. Okay, so over here, this method will be what called. So with the super function here like this, we can call what methods, properties or attributes from what the parent class. So that is what a simple tutorial, or this is a simple tutorial on what inheritance in what Python, and we can have multiple inheritance as well. So let's see. So right now, let's say I have a class called let me say class of, let's say a person like this, a class of person like this. I'll put pass here. I can create a class of, um let's say an employer, and then this will inherit from the person class like this, and then I'll put pass here. Okay, let me just use a shape class. I'll say shape like this. I will not put in any functionality. So shape, so we have different shapes, so I can put a class of, let's say a rectangle, which you inherit from what the shape class. So I'll just put pass here. Then I can have another class called, let's say a square, which will also inherit from what the shape class. So all the functionalities and logic we put here, or functional attributes, methods that we put in the shape class, which is a parent class, these classes will also what will be able to what inherit from it. Now let's say I want this square class to inherit from what the rectangle class. What I'll have to do is I'll just put comma here and put what rectangle like this. So this is what I want to achieve here. It said method ordering. So you can put comma there and then put in what multiple classes there to what inherit from. So that is it about inheritance in Python. Please like, subscribe, and to help the channel grow. And thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.